Well, it's amazing how fast the world turns, and we've made one full complete revolution around the sun, and we are back at the first day of waterfowling season. And my buddy Nick and I are kicking it off, hunting gravel bar Canadas here on the September 7th opener of late summer Canada goose. We've kind of just been waiting around in the fog for the birds to start moving. The wind is starting to pick up out of the northwest now. Hopefully it moves some of this mist out of the valley. We got here late today and we didn't get set up completely until about 8 o'clock. Boat hidden, decoys out, and in the brush, nestled down. No sooner did we get in here, we heard geese coming right away from off in that direction. Got our guns loaded, and Nick made first blood. He dropped one on a high shot, and he's over there looking for it right now in that brush behind me. The weather is starting to turn a little bit. We're getting more breeze out of the northwest, and we got a really good setup and decoy position for this type of wind today. And there are birds all around us in the fields, so just a matter of time before they fly again, and hopefully they come here to get their water. Here comes Nick with his prize. As you can see, in the summertime, we don't use waders.
Good girl, Holly. Dude, on the way back, 3 feet from me, look to the left. This goose was as close as that far shell right there. Standing up, and he looked up at me, and he's like, he started murmuring, making some noise. Oh man, it was the vantage brush pile mallard all over again. I stood back and I saw him, pulled it up.
I'm trying not to laugh super hard because I know how funny that is.
I mean, I could have pounced on it and chased him, but
you're all covered with grass seeds.
Dude, it was still honking. Oh, poor guy.
So you took his head clean off?
Dude, I reared back. I pulled backwards to not spook him and put the gun, and I went down below.
I believe this is where I filmed my last hunt of the 23-24 season. It's amazing how fast the world comes around again. This is the state of the DuckSageVentures farm, mid-September, Friday the 13th, 2024. The harvest is way old. That happened back in July. Hay is in the barn, way up there on the hill. We've got our strip of duck habitat preserved, and kind of overwhelmed in a good way with all the preparations that still have to get done. Definitely behind this year, getting everything ready for the waterfowl season. The second rain system of the week coming through. Look at this duck blind, playhouse number 1. Look how all the natural brush is now starting to take over. There is a lot of duck food growing down in here. Look at these little seeds of these sedge grasses.
these float on the water when the water raises up in here. And it's growing all along here, out all in through here. After a week of rain, it doesn't take much. There will be a puddle forming in here, and that's just the beginning. And then there's Playhouse 2 right over here. This one actually is a duck killing machine. We've taken a lot out of this one, and it needs a little bit more work, a lot more brush than the first blind. What I want to do is reorganize all these sticks, kind of stick them up against it, and get it so it'll hold a nice fresh batch of green brush. But over here though, it is very well hidden from any ducks approaching from the east. There's actually a lot of coyotes that like to den up in there. It's kind of cool seeing them out here, to be honest with you. During hay season, they were out here eating all the mice really close to the tractor. They didn't even care. And the grass is growing back really green this year. This might be the greenest we've had it in quite a while. It's probably because of fertilizer. This is a corner of the property that we rarely even touch. This old bridge here, and down in that gully is Workman Creek. It's all dammed up by beavers, and the water floods up and over this creek in the heavy rain. And it's one of the watersheds that helps to flood our field. And this is what we call the back slough. Killed an incredible amount of ducks back in here. Again, the water fills all of this, and the sun comes up in December, barely even crests this hill. So this tree line remains shadowed all day. And it is an incredible place to hide. It's a place, we got a couple spots picked out here and over here that we'd like to build permanent duck blinds. It's just finding the time to do it. I'd pretty much have to give up a backpacking trip in the summer to dedicate the time to it. Wild rose bush. Pungent, sweet, beautiful smell. Late May, early June. But they have incredibly sharp thorns. It can poke right through neoprene waders. And they take over everything because they are a non-native species. You can just see how their seed pods are ready to be dropped right here. This pond did not dry up this summer, and on really dry years it does. So it's already started, the flooding of the fields. Again, this back slough, we've left all the natural seeding, grasses, and duck foods. And it won't take long if this rain persists for the water to be deep enough for a mallard duck. This place is a jungle. pretty much the beginning of what we call the back timber hole. And it's not really like southern flooded timber. It's just lined by these tall ash and alder trees. Got some Sitka spruce and some maple in here. And the ducks love to slip back in here and hide from the open field. This is another place we would like to build another blind tucked up in here. This is just a beautiful hole in here. In fact, there's probably water right up here in the low point of the pond. Oh, I'm liking this. This plant right here. Ducks love it. It's a lot of, I believe this is called smartweed. And if this floods perfectly and doesn't flood too much, there's going to be a lot of mallards back here. And it goes all the way down. There is really some ginormous, beautiful trees back in here. Got these ash trees over here. Lots of flat meadows going up under the branches. And then this is impressive, these giant Sitka spruce that survived the deforestation. And these are some of the biggest evergreens on the property right here. I like how up close you can see how they have old man's beard hanging off of them pretty good. And that blind, very well hidden. It's not going to need that much brush this year. If you want wood ducks in your duck hole, put up wood duck boxes. Here's a seasonal beaver lodge. They're not using it right now, but as soon as the water fills up in here, I guarantee they're going to move in. They have this slot mined out, and that connects with another watershed that comes down off the hill and fills all this up. This is the first pond right here. This is the lowest spot on the property. A week of heavy rain and this will have a foot of water in it. And I think we can say with some certainty that it's already filling up rather quickly in here. Very early this year. The difference switch in climate makes. Yeah, this is all filled up in here with water. It won't take long now. In fact, there may be ducks using this at the moment. And this is the mighty Chehalis River. Outside of the Columbia River, I think this is one of the biggest watersheds here in Washington State, especially on the west side. You got the Skagit up north, and down here we have the Chehalis, and it pulls water from a tremendous area. Lots of tributaries, the Wynoochee, the Satsip, the Black River, Scatter Creek, and there's several forks of the Chehalis when it gets up in the Willapa Hills. And I guess just for a little bit of scale, you know, this is low water. It's probably about 16 feet from the river level right now up to the top of the bank. And this river will fill up with so much water that it will go up over the bank and flood our field, kind of like a backwash toilet. So that's the top of the bank right there. And the water has to get up over that to fill our field, and it does every year.
Well, good morning. It's actually kind of a beautiful day this morning. It's not raining nowhere near as hard as it was forecasted to be. And a lot of the showers dumped a lot of their moisture last night anyways. And I'm just out here getting this blind prepped to add more brush to it. I've already cut a path into the doorway, and now what I got to do is just reorganize all the old sticks from last year, get the stuff off of the roof, and then it'll be ready to put nice fresh cedar bows on. So let's go inside and see how the blind looks after leaving it last year.
Not much different. There's the shell casings from the last time we hunted in here. Lots of empty boxes of ammo, but pretty much no different. I already checked it for bees' nests, and none of them took refuge in here this year. And this is the first blind I put together on this property. Just kind of cleared my path in here now. It was at one time a child's playhouse. I kept the frame and moved it down here, sunk the posts in cement, and this blind is actually really good for Canada geese. Good morning to a glorious day. It is the official last calendar day of summer, September the 21st, 2024. Just enjoying my time at the farm this morning. The sun is breaking through the morning marine layer. And I'm starting out down here at the blind, and I just added the first truck full of brush onto it. Got a good foundation now to pile more up as the day goes on today.
Believe it or not, I'm standing on the old railroad that used to go up the Chehalis Valley. And we have quite a bit of it on our property. We use it as an access road now for our vehicles to run back and forth the whole length of DuckSageVentures. And I tell you, it's a battle against the storms and gravity, because every year there's slides and we always get trees coming down here and they block the road. And so the first chore of the day is I got to cut this up. And of course it'll be firewood, and then the cedar bows are going to go down onto the blind. This is an annual ritual. Every year this happens. Sometimes it's like massive, and this actually is a pretty small scale one right now, so it shouldn't take that long to cut all this up and get it out of here. Let's get that chainsaw fired up.
Now that all that's cut free, you can actually drive to the end of the railroad down here. And it's a very beautiful grove, cedar, big leaf maple. Loving these colors right now in the transition season. Well, for the last day of summer, it sure is living up to its name. I don't think there's really a cloud in the sky right now. It's crystal clear blue up there. It's getting pretty warm down here in the field. September is a very beautiful month. And, we got this second truckload of brush here that we just cut off of that big cedar tree up there that was blocking the road. And now we're going to throw it onto this blind here, starting with the roof, and then we'll do the walls in the front. I already did a big truckload this morning when I first got here and filled in all the front here. So a lot of these cedar bows should lay very nicely right over the top of that. That was a massive load, and the blind looks 100 times better. I like the cedar bows because they do hold on to the greenery a bit longer than deciduous trees. So depending on the amount of flooding and the water height that comes in here, this could potentially stay pretty brushed for most of the season. And it's not much to add more on later in the year. And we got one more truckload of firewood. It's a good year for firewood. That's one thing we are very rich in right now. Got a lot of fuel to burn for probably 2 winters now. The phrase, "the hay's in the barn," takes in a whole new meaning on the first day of autumn. And just to keep the herd low, we butcher about 3 cows every August. And this is 1/2 of a cow right here, filling a giant freezer. This should last us a whole year of grass-fed beef. Good morning to a beautiful fall day, Sunday, September the 29th, 2024. Crystal clear, chilly, blue skies. And we're about to brush the last blind on the property. Got a truck full of brush. I'm gonna back it up in here really quick. We're going to start the camouflaging process. Already this blind is staying very shadowed up against the trees here. Keep in mind all these leaves are going to fall off, and we're just going to add as much brush to it as it takes to make it disappear. I want to point out this branch coming off of this tree has grown down, and it made a complete 90-degree bend, and it is starting to grow and wrap around the duck blind. You can see how the sun is behind it there. We got it pretty brushed with willows and all kinds of natural vegetation. There are also numerous species of natural grasses right here, and these seeds are also very ripe, and the ducks will be eating these as well. I'd like more of this to start growing back in here, so seeing more and more of it. Just a wide buffet of natural duck foods right in front of this blind back here. Right here. A lot more of it. Natural grasses. All right, one last look at the timber blind. You can barely even see it. It's very well hidden, and we are ready to hunt out of this. All we need is for the water to come. Seems like we're getting one last kick of high pressure summer weather.
Yeah, I gotta retie these, get that tangle free out. Yeah, it's a pain running that line that's on there now.
It is the eve of one of the most special days of the year.
It's the socks.
Nick's just picking through his bag after a year of it sitting collecting dust.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I need all
We've been working on different ways of camouflaging our aquapods. We're not going to be using those tomorrow.
Trying to pick and choose between the leftover nitro steel that's discontinued and gone and never be made again, or just in case some twos. I mean, it's too close for twos, but I kind of want to bring them anyway. Just in case somebody runs out of a box, I'm going to bring 3, but I should just need 1. See, it starts to get wet, and it does that. Almost sound like a damn elk call. Yeah, they get wet, and it gets a little sticky. You only blow it for a few minutes. You got to pull it out, dry it off, put it back in. Yep.
Well, the magical day has arrived. It is Saturday morning, October the 12th, opening day of hunting season. And we got, back of the truck is full of Labradors. We just saw a pair of duck hunters on the side of the road. We don't know what they were doing. And we're a weird breed. It is, I don't know, a little after 3 in the morning. We have a 45-minute drive to the location. We're gonna meet up with Ryan, and then we're gonna go to the spot. At the spot, we got probably 200 meters of walking across the field, just so we can sit for probably about an hour and a half, because we're getting a little anxious. Duck hunting comes along with anxiety. There's a lot of stuff to be anxious about, actually. One anxiety is someone going to be in our spot when we get there? I don't think so. I think we got it all locked down, actually. My biggest anxiety today is that when I put on those waders from last year, I slipped that first foot into that river. I'm hoping that there's no holes in the leg.
Nick, how are you, dude? I'm doing good. Yourself, man?
Yeah, good to see you, bro. There you go. Damn, you're tripping.
2 more, Nick. Get him. Get him. Go get it, Holly.
That thing is moving fast. I got him.
You did.
Yeah, I like this spot right here on the edge of it. Come on, don't shoot me. Two. Oh man, sleigh fest. Sleigh fest. Browning fours. Browning fours.
Rusty, come here.
Come on.
Rusty. Rusty.
Nope. How do we know? How do we know? Come on. Come on, girl. Is that hen? There's the wood duck slayer. All I can see is his pale white face. His camouflage blends in so well. Don't even know he's there. The benefits of being done early.
Yep. Oh, it's nap time.
Now he just gets to take a nap. Dead bird, Holly. Go get it. Get it, boy.
Is there another one down there?
I think I got that one.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
Yeah, if nobody hunted that corner spot, dude, that should.
Here they come, here they come. Oh, right here. Are you limited, Nick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, surprisingly, I was behind there for a minute. Somehow caught up. Yeah, it hit. Fucking, it was falling at an angle to the left. It looked like it hit a limb that it bounced to the right. Aaron, you find
Where
it?
is Aaron? He's way to the right of it.
Oh,
Isn't
nice. What's that?
he? Is he? He's way to the right, isn't he? Of where?
Yeah, yeah. Got it. I think it's a direct hook up.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Yeah, he only needs one more, I think.
No, he's done.
This is it.
Really? No way.
Perfect kingfisher.
Well, we got the gun hand over here. Showed up, and I think you were done with how many shells?
12.
12?
12 shots, yeah. A couple of those were on wounded ducks, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I think you definitely had the greatest average of shots per duck today, for sure. But man, what a pile. Yeah, I think we got 21 by 8 o'clock. This is just early season madness and mayhem here in the fog. I think Ryan does pretty good when it's chaotic and kind of crazy out. Yeah, I don't think we could ask for a better spread of birds. I knew coming into this hunt today that there was going to be a lot of wood ducks around just from the scouting I've done the last couple of weekends. And absolutely, the first ducks to come in were, a nice big group of mallards. But then after that, it was just wood ducks everywhere. I think Ryan was standing in the middle of the river shooting them over the top of our head as we were picking them up.
Yeah, that was good. Thanks again for bringing me out here. This is the second time out here, and yeah, last year on the video I talked about how crappy I shot, and today, you shoot good. It helps.
What size pellets were you using today?
Fours, Browning XD 4s, ounce and a quarter.
With a modified choke tube?
With an improved choke tube.
You were shooting improved cylinder.
Improved with 4s, and we had no cripples. I don't think we had today. Everything died today. Everything died. And yeah, I was actually really impressed. I bought those last night. I'd never shot those before, and yeah, they kill ducks.
Incredible.
Here comes Nick. The hero dog of the day was definitely Rusty. Rusty caught on really quick. Did a lot of good retrieves. Holly just wasn't fast enough to get on it. She's getting old. She's going to be 12 this season. So I'm really glad just to get her out here though and take part. She was trying really hard. Just couldn't keep up with the young dog here who's restless. The good times should continue at this spot throughout the month of October. I call this spot the Halloween hole, just because it's really good while the leaves are turning orange and yellow, and it should be pretty dynamite hunting here up until the rains come. The wood ducks will leave really quickly. Today was probably enough to get them out of here, but I don't know how much they're willing to take for the smart grass that's growing in here.
And here's a close-up of the birds bagged on the opening day. 2024-25 waterfowling season. Lots of wood ducks. They were probably the most populous duck around today. Look at that big drake. I think that made up most of Ryan's bag limit. Nick always takes the head off of the drake mallards if they try to get away from him. One green-winged teal. I had to have it. And yeah, just a really good spread. That was some shooting, if I've ever seen any.
Not by choice, it's selective as shit. It's harder for me to hear a lot of the time.
Yeah, I've been starting to shove toilet paper in my ears when I'm duck hunting.
Surprisingly, my ears aren't ringing that bad right now. Last couple years ago, if I didn't have earplugs, dude, one shot, man, my whole head was ringing for half the day.
Just using that word therapeutic, man. It means a lot.
It's therapeutic picking these ducks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it kind of puts you in a meditative state, honestly. You just get into a rhythm and doing it. You know how good it's gonna taste too.
Oh yeah, look at that fat.
I kind of want to possibly try breading some of these fillets, man. I don't know, it'd be cool to get a breading, some kind of mixture and roll it in it and coat it and fry it up. Get an extra crisp on that skin. Oh man, look at that yellowish color in that skin. Touch my knife up on the sharpener.
Look at that table fare right there. That is the finished product. all picked and filleted. I got leg attached to the breast. It's all connected with that beautiful duck fat and skin. Good morning to Sunday, October the 16th. Second day of waterfowling season. We have the aquapods today. We're going to be using that particular type of watercraft to access the hunting spot. Just making our last preparations on our equipment before we slide into the water. So far, it's been a pretty exciting morning. The fog is really thick today, and I'm hoping later this afternoon it burns off. So far, we have a total of 4 wood ducks just sitting here. We're hunting an old classic spot of mine. I haven't been here, I can't even remember the last time I hunted at this spot, mostly because of just being able to access it. So today we launched our aquapods on private property and drifted down to this location. Got the decoys all set out. There's a lot of duck food in here, and it's not as action-packed as what it was yesterday. I haven't shot a duck here in a lot of years, so it feels really good to be back here at this major bend, hairpin turn in a river. We'll see how much more action we get today as the morning progresses on. How did that drake get out of here?
I should have waited. He was coming towards me. I thought I was just right in his face.
I can't believe I missed him. that bird, Holly. Go get it. Good girl. Good girl. Nice shot, Ryan.
Did you see that bird coming around?
Yeah.
Were you giving it to me as a gift?
I was gonna wait for it to come back around, but your feathers are falling on me over here. You pounded her.
Good job, Holly. Good girl.
She likes it when they're stone graveyard dead. If they're flopping, she won't touch them. She's kind of weird like that. Absolutely beautiful fall day. The fog is starting to thin, it seems, or it's just coming and going. These ducks just appear on you out of nowhere. We've had quite a few opportunities today. Cupped wings coming out of the fog.
It fell out of the tree.
It did.
Yeah.
It hit the ground over there. It's dead too. It's about 9:40 a.m. and the sun disk is getting higher in the sky and the fog is burning off. We're starting to see patches of blue sky. So hopefully we'll get another flight of birds to move around with this weather change. This spot usually is just like dynamite at daylight because they're coming here to eat. And then with all the shooting, of course, it died off here. So kind of hoping just maybe one more flock before we got to go in for the day. I did mention yesterday my greatest apprehension and fear going into the season was that I'd step into the water and discover that my waders had a leak in them from being stored over the summer. And good news is none of that is going on. The waders are good to go, pretty dry. It feels just a tad bit moist and wet in there, but I think it's just from little pinpricks or just a little bit of water getting in somewhere. But I've been standing in the water all morning, just past my my knees, and been nice and warm and comfortable. Those there are called Russian olives, and they're very viney and they kind of take over everything. And I've heard that's what the wood ducks are in here eating. That's one of their prime sources of food. Sounds like Ryan's getting restless over there and packing up the boat. It's getting to be about that time. You can see the extent of the smartweed that's growing in here. And that, along with the Russian olives, creates a pretty good food web for the ducks. It's really fun shooting a couple out of this hole today. Well, it feels good to have the hard part over with. Beginning something is always kind of the hardest step sometimes, and the waterfowl season is officially underway. And it is well underway. We had a really good early season shoot down here on the river this year. My only hope is that the wood duck shooting isn't over with. It was a beautiful day today, but tomorrow the fall transitions are coming, and the weather is supposed to transition to good old Pacific Northwest storms and rain. We've got a whole week of it coming, and this particular spot is really dependent on water levels. Right now the water is really low going into the season, and there's a lot of food available. But as soon as we get weeks and weeks of rain, that water will come up and flush all the food out of here like a giant toilet. And then this spot would tend to only be better during freeze-ups and really cold snow wintry conditions. At that point, you know, when the waters rise, you gotta change tactics and start hunting other locations around here. Along with the fall transitions, these wood ducks are some of the first ones to skedaddle and get out of here. There was already much less today than what there was yesterday. Well, Holly is getting really antsy to go here. She keeps moving around. She did a good job today. It's really good to get her out, especially during these nice October days. All the fall transitions are going on, and it's a short but beautiful period to begin our hunting season. So with that being said, I'm going to transition back to the farm, get these ducks cleaned, and complete the circle of cooking and eating. So what do you think of today?
Today went good. I was ready to pack it up and leave. The sun came out. Aaron wanted to stick it out, and the duck hunting gods gave him the 3 gift teal, tripled. That's a good way to polish off a limit. He's the king.
Well, these wood ducks keep buzzing by us here on this dock.
Yeah, you said you wanted to stick around until the 12 o'clock flight. I think it's right around 12 o'clock.
Here's a closer look at the birds bagged today. I ended up getting my limit of some of the best eaten ducks around. Teal and wood ducks. Really pleased with this early season spread.
Go get it. Dead bird. Well, good morning. It is Friday, October the 18th, 2024. Nick and I are chasing river bottom mallards and wood ducks. We definitely had a few opportunities today, but we need to practice up on our shooting skills. Weather feels really good. It's definitely very fall-like out right now compared to the opener weekend. On the opening weekend, we had really nice days. It was, you know, highs of low 70s during the middle of the day. And then last week, the weather definitely took a turn to more fall-like conditions. The temperature has definitely dropped. It's a lot cooler. It rained a lot this week. It's supposed to rain a lot this weekend too. So all the water level in the rivers here in this area definitely have come up, and it just changes things, and we're definitely noticing the change this weekend. We were hoping that quite a few birds would move in with the change in the weather, especially with the nasty stuff going up into Canada, but we're just not seeing that right now.
So we're going back and forth talking about our options for the second weekend of the season here. But already, you know, it's definitely turned into more of a hunt. We're gonna have to go find them. And hunting it sure is, because we get to eat tonight. I got one. This hen mallard came in first thing in the morning. Brought her down, and this will make a great supper tonight for sure. We just gotta find a place where we can go get more.
And it was at the same time of being able to actually call them and working with the ball. Yeah, good learning experience on this river. Couldn't remember that his buddy Floyd showed him this place. He told him about it, and me and him went and launched, and Floyd would be sitting there in his boat with the blind up on the side.
One day and overnight of heavy rain started the flooding in the lower field here. This keeps up, won't be long before the rest of the farm is underwater. Well, good morning. It is Saturday, October the 19th. It's rained 100% all night last night, and it's still raining. It has not stopped. We're currently experiencing an atmospheric weather event. The Gulf of Alaska has really turned on this last week. We're seeing the effects of that. Big, fat, cold drops of rain, and I heard we've even gotten some mountain snow. I'm starting today by cleaning the birds I got yesterday afternoon. After Nick and I hunted the river bottom, I went and scouted out to the coast, and I checked out a spot I've always wanted to hunt for a long time, but never really had the time or the bravery to go out and check it out. And I did that yesterday. And when I got there in the storm, the atmospheric weather event, there were just thousands, gobs and hordes of ducks all over down there. Lots of migrants, teal, widgeon, pintail, and a few mallards mixed in between. And when Holly and I saw that, I couldn't resist, so I quickly threw the boat in with a handful of decoys, and we went out and hunted the high tide, which was about 1:40 yesterday. Quickly got a limit, just sitting there, without any like rhyme or reason or strategy. That's how many ducks there were down there. And this is the last of them that needs to be cleaned. I actually got this one at the river. I got 6 at the coast. It was so wet and windy, I didn't even bother getting the camera equipment out. But we're going back today. Sarah's on her way here right now. We're going to throw the aquapods in the vehicle. And we're going back for high tide today, which is about 2 o'clock this afternoon. A high of 11 foot. So that's a significant one. And down there at the coast, the weather is supposed to be significantly worse than what it is here. And when I mean by worse, I mean windier. So it's forecasted to have some wind gusts of up to 20 miles per hour out of the southwest. The average wind speed of about 10 to 15. So hopefully we can get in there and make quick work of it today and make it back here to the duck shack next to the warm crackling fire. And there we go. That's the last duck. Just got to get these wings cleaned up here. Out to the first knuckle. I'm going to pick this one here whole. I'm not going to do the duck fillets on this one just because it's in such good shape. That wing there is broken, so I'm going to cut it right there. So, there we go. Look at that. Now it's time to get the knife out. Ducks are picked. It doesn't take that long to get it done if you just sit down and put your head to it.